All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Laura Canfield Show, the Awaken to Happiness Now Global Series. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And today we're talking to our good friend, Laura Hosford. She's back with us, and we're talking about healing the wounded and distorted feminine. So some of what we're going to talk about today and experience is we're going to talk about how to recognize the signs and symptoms of the wounded feminine, understanding the true cause of your feminine suffering and pain, and the only true cure to heal your inner void, how the distorted feminine attempts to fill her inner emptiness, the difference between the dark feminine and the distorted feminine, and we're going to learn how to begin healing and restoring your distorted feminine state to liberate your inner goddess of joy. We're also going to experience a powerful guided meditation to heal your distorted feminine. So we're going to be doing a lot. We're going to be taking a few caller questions, not readings per se, but questions. And for those of you who don't know Laura, she's been on our show many times as one of our favorite guests. And she is a sacred oracle and goddess of light emissary for the divine feminine Christ consciousness. She is also a womb priestess and ceremonial frequency rebirther, a shamanic ordained minister, a master Akashic records teacher, a light language channel, intuitive energy healer, and retreat leader, and so much more. And she uses her spiritual gift of channeling celestial beings of light, ascended masters, including Mary Magdalene and Mother Mary, Saint Germain, Sananda, Kuan Yin, and Archangel Michael. She also works with Archangel Metatron, Melchizedek, the Arcturians, the Pleiadians, the Council of Light, inner earth beings, and the galactic spiritual forces to assist in anchoring sacred feminine, galactic, and Lemurian energies into the new earth grid system. So that's a lot more you can read about Laura on the live page and on the special offer page. But let's get cracking, because I know there's so much that we want to talk about, so much we want to experience, and I'm so glad that you're here with us, Laura, and I know that you're moving, so we want to get right to it, and hopefully we won't have any problems with, well, now that you're on the phone, we should be good. So how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Laura. It's it's a beautiful day here in Georgia, and the sun's out, and I'm really happy. It's warm, and yeah, it's like, it's starting to feel like the energies of renewal and the energies of spring are beginning to come in, even though, we don't see the equinox until the 21st. But
Yep.
I feel like, the energies are already starting to come very powerfully. And as we move further into 2021, it's an interesting time, right, that we're in, and we've all been feeling this, I know, very intensely, especially those of us who are very empathic and old souls, and, just awakening to these energies of divine Sophia Mother, who's returning to the planet and started to come in 2017. And we've been living for thousands and thousands of years in this imbalanced energetic field between the feminine and the masculine. And in 2017, when I'm using Sophia to recognize our true organic mother, who birthed all of our beautiful souls and planets and galaxies and universes into being. But what we've been experiencing here on the planet for many thousands of years is actually the inverted dark mother. And so this topic today and conversation about talking about, and we're really going to be only hitting on the surface of this because there's so much we could dive into very deeply around this topic of healing the wounded and distorted feminine that all of us as women on the planet have been working with and healing in this lifetime in particular. In men as well. I'm not going to leave out men because, they also have feminine qualities as well. However, the interesting dynamic of that is if you were born into this incarnation, because, our soul is male and female. We have, we don't really identify as male or female in our soul essence when we're not embodied. But when we come into the body, we choose, and really, we come into this incarnation as a gift. In Divine Mother is really the one who decides. She's the one who really decides whether we're going to come in as a female or a male body. So coming in this incarnation, I think, as a female, is a huge opportunity for us as women, because with the female body, we carry a lot, we carry much more than a male body does, because we need that energy to birth babies, to bring through, and birth life, and birth ideas and creations. But, the female body, it's almost like the opposite of what we see today showing up in our current modern society. A lot of us growing up, were conditioned to believe that you were only valuable as a woman or as a female, if you look like Twiggy, let's say, from the 60s. How many of us have struggled with, battling these, illusionary, false images and conditioning around to be female. We have to look pretty and perfect and have on the perfect makeup, and we have to show up and be the perfect mother and the perfect housewife, and if we work, all these sort of conditioning things that were put on us. And so, in this lifetime, we're here to break down all those barriers of conditioning and really begin to really remember and embody that true, authentic, sacred feminine again. And so, if you go and you kind of look back at some of the archaeology and the history of what the archaeologists have unearthed, these statues, of goddesses and women from many, many thousands of years, going way back, to Mesopotamia, prior to Egypt. They find these statues of these women, that have these huge bodies. They're like, their bodies are very rounded, and they have very large breasts, and those women are really, in my mind, like just the beauty that they hold. They hold so much, energy for Divine Mother. And, all body types are important. All body types and imaging are crucial, to the diversity of God Goddess. And so, over the conditioning and the many incarnations, the feminine has become quite distorted through the conditioning, of trying to stereotype her, if you will, into this sort of, perfected being of what, she's supposed to look like and show up as. And so these are all the important barriers that we are now, breaking in this lifetime. So I think it's a huge blessing to be here on the earth right now, in a female body. And we have, so much potential that is being presented to us. And as everything is happening on the outside, the external, as harsh as it is, it may feel, to those of us who are very empathic or sensitive or whatever, very harsh and very much almost opposite to the energy of our original divine, sacred, feminine energy. And so, I have to continually even remind myself, as, walking this pathway for Divine Mother, and you in this lifetime, in a female body, you are here to be the voice. You are here to be Divine Mother embodied on this beautiful planet Earth that we call home, right, to many of us. And, it's a privilege and an honor, and I keep coming back to that. I keep coming back to that, of that space of gratitude in any time that I start to feel myself, being pulled down into the muck, being pulled down into the sludge, being, trying to pull backwards almost into that third dimensional matrix and consciousness. And, it's challenging for all of us, and it's not easy to stand in your light, your feminine soul light. It's not easy to be a mother today, to be a grandmother, to be, you know, any of these roles that we play as a woman, because the truth is that we bear, because we have these very beautiful bodies that can bear children, can bear and bring through new life. And we are the portals that hold this tremendous amount of feminine energy for the mother. We also carry the burden of the pain for the planet. And what I mean by that is that we literally feel and carry about 75 to 80% of the pain and suffering of the planet, of humanity, is being carried by us as women in women's bodies.
Wow. Wow.
So, yes. So just really take a breath for a moment, and I'll invite everyone who's listening to the call or live or replay to just breathe with me, and really breathe and bring your thinking down to your feet, you know, really ground and root in through this call, because it will go deep. And, you know, you may have to listen to it a few times to begin to really allow it to come into your consciousness. But, you know, this is really the call that we're waking up to, and there's no more, you know, denial anymore. We can't deny what we're beginning to see and we're beginning to hear. When we felt it very deeply, you know, we felt the pain, we felt the trauma, we felt the discomfort, we feel the suffering of the soul of humanity every day when we wake up. You can't not feel it to a certain degree, because we're part of the collective consciousness of, you know, humanity, and we're embodied. So, you know, this is really important that we begin to awaken and understand and to the truth of what's happened to humanity, and what's happened to us as women, you know, and men. But, you know, the heartbreak that has occurred on this planet is unbelievable. I mean, it goes so deep into our hearts, into our wombs, into our bodies. And so this heartache, you know, has shown up in different ways, and has led to the distorted feminine, to the wounded and distorted feminine, and for that fact, the wounded and distorted masculine as well. But we're just going to talk about the feminine today. We can talk about the masculine another time. But this, you know, this is now coming up, and there's no holding it back anymore. You know, Divine Sophia Mother, who is our original mother, who's returning to the planet and continuing to just increase, you know, her crystalline plasma energies and the planet we talk about. You know, everything within you that is, you know, not of your true divine blueprint, everything that is distorted within you, your distorted feminine, your distorted masculine energies are going to be called up to the surface now. And you may be experiencing even a quickening of this now. You know, there's no, if you're embodied on this planet, you know, there is really no escape in a sense. There's no where you can go except go out of the body, you know, if you choose to do that. And during this time, but you didn't choose to do that. You know, if you're here and you're on this planet, then you're here to work with these distorted feminine energies and to begin to return to healing, you know, really that disconnection that happened, and that disconnection between, you know, our original Sophia Mother, and, you know, and how all of that raw power and creative energy that we were once connected to through our wombs, when our wombs were pure and, you know, were not distorted. And now she's returned to bring us back into that balance, so that we can then, you know, begin to co-create once again with the divine masculine, which is the holder of the peace energy. He's the holder of the 0 point of creation. And, we talk about the two of them, the Shiva and the Shakti energy, which is, we see very, very distorted today. So, we are very, very fortunate, even though things are not easy, things are very challenging. There's a lot of unknowns going on right now. At the same time, we can find that inner grace, and we can begin to recognize the signs and symptoms of this wounded feminine, because it's really crucial that each of us, begin to heal it within ourselves. And as I've come to understand, more about the distorted feminine, really it's a result of deep multi-generational and multiple lifetimes of wounding. And the interesting thing is that not only on this planet have you experienced, the distorted feminine, she's on other planets, other galaxies as well. And that's why, as you incarnated, whether you incarnated here on the Earth or on another, solar system, another planet, another universe, you're still carrying all of this distorted energy with you, every incarnation, wherever you go. And that's why it's so crucial and important to understand how deep this runs, that, you're key to really liberating yourself, to really liberate yourself, to begin to hold, that chalice of crystalline light that you really are. You have to really address and heal these deep layers of pain and trauma that you've been carrying around in your physical, your emotional, and your energetic bodies. And so that is why this incarnation is so super important, because as you do that and you begin to reconnect with, the source of your true sacred feminine again, which means that you've got to reconnect with the true mother. And that's really the invitation. And if you're feeling that call, then you will hear that call when you're ready to take that step into this whole kind of new journey. I call it the journey of the womb. And this is where Mother Mary Magdalene, guided me, well, almost 5 years ago, in my own journey to begin to reconnect with my womb. Because, you really think about it for a minute. We, even today, just if you look around at society, you just see how much mental energy there is everywhere. And, everything's just so about the mental mind, and the intellect. And, what's been lost is the sacred feminine. The sacred feminine is the holder of the lunar energy and the solar energy and the Christ consciousness energy. And this is really what wants to be birthed. It's that strong, beautiful, flowing, pure energy. It's, we're meant to be clear vessels of our own sacred feminine light, and as that becomes unobstructed and begins to flow again, then it naturally begins to shine from our eyes, our hands, our heart, and our womb. And as that gets turned on, more and more, it gets amplified, then you will begin to clear this distorted feminine energy. You'll begin to heal those symptoms, and you'll begin to really flow your original soul light. And then as you do that, you will begin to feel full. You'll begin to feel complete. You'll begin to feel whole and even holy again, because this is your natural state of being that we talk about. It's a natural state of plenitude and happiness that we're all talking about, the joy and the happiness, right, that we all want and we all crave. And so, we have that, we remember, the thing is that you remember that. You may not remember it so much consciously, but you remember it at your soul level. And, your higher self, your monad, has retained that memory in that sense deep within you. It's almost like a homing device to me. It's almost like a compass. And we're all seeking that reconnection to Divine Sophia Mother that we once had much more, powerfully before when we were in Lemuria, for example. So, what's happened is that, this vessel, this crystalline chalice of light that I call it, that is our sacred feminine core, is very powerful. It's very vulnerable. It's very strong, but it's also very fragile in ways too. It can be cracked and broken and even shattered. And so after we've had these, multitudes of incarnations and through the generational lineages that we're born into, we've had these many, many painful and traumatic, sexual, physical, and emotional experiences, which have led us to become broken and shattered on the energetic level, even though it's invisible, right? Because it is at the physical, just below the surface. We all feel it. We all feel it very deeply and very keenly. We all have a sense of this, however it's showing up in our lives in the archetype of the distorted feminine. And this distortion shows up because we have been traumatized. That is real. In a sense, we talked about we're not victims, but in a sense, in the physical, we have been a victim in the physical experience. But our soul has never been a victim, you could say. So there is a differentiation. There is a difference there. But our soul, once that was whole and holy and pure in this experience of the human experience, became fragmented. And as we went through these many incarnations, our energy body, fragmented off, our soul fragmented out, and some of our soul aspects, traveled far away from our bodies. And this is what we call soul loss. And it's become a condition of fundamental emptiness. So I think most of us can, correlate with this experience, of there's an inner emptiness, right? An inner pain, an inner void of separation from our true divinity and our true nature.
Absolutely.
So, as women, however many times we came into the earth and inhabit a woman's body, we went through this shattering, through trauma, our natural state of innocence being shattered and torn away from us, and our natural state of abundance and fullness. And so we fragmented it out, and ultimately we began to sink down into this, distorted feminine archetype and energy of emptiness. So, and in the human experience, for everyone, this is a underlying, very, very deep root cause of everyone, why everyone feels the emptiness, the void, the disconnection, out of alignment, whatever your words are.
Mm-hmm.
But this deep, unending emptiness is really a deep heartache that you're feeling that wants to be healed. It's a void that cannot be filled up or satisfied. The shattering of you as a woman in your womb has been driven so deep into the collective human consciousness, the collective womb, that she no longer is able to access or safely contain her infinite light of her being. She no longer feels or recognizes her natural sovereign power anymore when you're very deeply aligned with this distorted feminine archetype. She's lost touch with her joy and her natural state of divinity. And she may not even be able to even know how to reconnect to her sacred divine self. She may not even trust herself or even trust life anymore. I think many of us can, and I think we're all going through this journey, Alara. I know for myself, when I went through my own dark night of the soul that began in 2008, I really felt that I was in a deep, dark hole. I clairvoyantly could see myself in this dark tunnel or this dark pit. And I'm like, well, how the heck am I going to get out of here? Like, how do I get out of this? You know, and feeling such despair and sadness and loneliness and depression. Like, how do they even get in this hole and how do I even get out?
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
know,
we've all experienced
and
that from time to time. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And, you know, those were important recognitions, right? We all have these signals that, you know, looking back now, you know, the goddess energy was there all along. The energy of Kali was there all along. And even though we may not recognize it at the time, the mother energy is right along with you, you know, holding you, embracing you, and bringing in the synchronicities that you need. Because in this lifetime, you're here to heal the distorted feminine. You're here to heal your wounded feminine light and to restore her once again. And that's a crucial part of the journey so that you can begin to, you know, once you heal that, then you can begin to really stand in this beautiful, powerful light, you know, and really embody this light again. So you can begin to co-create with Divine Mother and Divine Father and really birth in this new world we call the fifth dimension, right? The age of Aquarius. So, you know, the only true cure that I've come to understand most recently, recently on this pathway is to really what you're seeking. And the key is to heal your heart and womb of all these traumas, abuse, and pain you've been carrying lifetime to lifetime, and to reconnect and fill up your inner chalice of crystalline light. But that key connection means inviting in and beginning to reconnect with the true mother energy of Divine Mother Sophia. And to really, you know, begin this sort of new journey, if you will, on a deeper spiral as she takes you into a new journey of reconnecting to, you know, we've done tons and tons of work on our heart, right? Our bodies, our chakras, you know, our pineal. And now it's about really stepping into the womb work. This is a whole new journey we're being called to because we pretty much lost connection with our wombs. But they are really, for a woman and for a man, you know, it's the seat of your raw power. It's the seat of where you can begin to really wield Siddha powers, superpowers. We talked about this before. And this is how Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene and Jesus, this is how they were able to perform the miracles that they did, because they were able to purify their wombs so much that they were able to reconnect with true Mother Divine and align with her. And you do that through the portal of your womb, because your womb is connected as a woman to Mother Divine. And it's really just purifying your womb of all of these, you know, traumas and abuses and pains and suffering and the layers and layers of that. As you purify that, then you begin to reopen that channel back to Divine Sophia Mother, the Creator. And that's a very powerful, this is a very, very powerful, you know, opportunity and responsibility. And so it's not to be taken lightly, but if you're being invited to do that, then you have, you know, a huge potential for many, many things that you can begin to co-create with Divine Mother, including divine conception, including divine births that we're getting prepped for now. And that our wombs were very you know, our wombs once had these abilities. We had these powers to co-create with Divine Mother. And so, it's also about standing up and saying no. Divine Mother has been just so adamantly, through the Marys, is we have to begin to stand up and say no to the toxic people, the toxic relationships, all of this toxicity, the disrespect of our wombs, the disrespect for the sacred feminine. It's almost like, I'm going to use the phrase, we the people, and we the women. We're the ones who are leading the way. And as we clear these energies, these toxic energies, the energies of disrespect and the energies of betrayal and abuse and all of it, then we, as we open our wombs, then we get to bring in these pure energies, the pure raw energies of Divine Mother again. And we become, rooted into our wombs in a new way. And we become rooted into the new womb of the new earth, of the 5D earth and the universal energies. And then our gateways become open again. And these are the ones who are going to receive the most power, Alara. Those who feel called to this. So, what can we do? What are some things that we can do, right? To, and this is not going to be an easy journey. There will be challenges, there will be difficulties, but now that we are coming back so powerfully through, this beautiful show and offering that you have, this is a very powerful portal that you offer, Alara, because this is very, very important. The work that you're doing and all of, in your community, everyone who's in your community, and all of the healers and speakers that you have, because as we come together and whatever expertise and light and healing that we bring, we're building this beautiful new crystalline chalice where we can really root into this energy again. And it's like you're creating this new beautiful womb portal and container, right, of the quantum field. And this is so super important because, engaging in this energy, it awakens us to our true divine sacred feminine again. It gives us permission. It gives us a sanctuary to be real, to be authentic, and to keep these conversations alive, and to continue to set powerful intentions, and to be the holy vessels of truth and light and love, that we once were and that we are going to be again in this lifetime. So,
and it's possible in this lifetime to really see a dramatic shift in our energies and in our vibration and how we function in this world, right?
Oh, absolutely. And it's getting more powerful, every day. And I've been noticing myself that, I can see, my own distorted feminine and how she was showing up, very early in my life. And, she can show up in many different ways, but, sometimes she shows up as, the avatar, or not the avatar, the archetype who uses sexual manipulation and vampirism, because she's seeking to fill that inner emptiness and void. She finds external ways to do that because she doesn't understand that she just feels this really deep, loneliness and, separation. And so we find ways to fill this void, right? It can be through, sexual manipulation, vampirism, trying to take in masculine sexual and emotional energy, trying to fill ourselves with that. It can be trying to do it through, you know, control and domination, manipulation. You know, we might be addicted to money, you know, sex, relationships, addiction to shopping, addicted to power, food, you know, drugs. There's many different ways that we're trying to fill, you know, ourselves, fill that void, right? Fill ourselves up. But yet, you know, in truth, the truth is you will never be able to satisfy that inner emptiness and void. You'll never be able to do it. You can only do it, and it will only be successful by filling up your chalice and healing that deep heartache of separation from Divine Mother. And so you have to heal all these inner distortions. You've got to heal the trauma, the abuse. You've got to heal all of that and purify your womb and your heart and your body, and you know, and to be able to really unlock and to really flow, you know, your own beautiful sacred feminine and masculine light again. That is really the only answer. But we have, you know, many, many ways that we can do this, of course. And of course, recognizing first and to doing that deep inquiry and soul searching to see how she might still be showing up in our life today. But we really can't look to the outer world to find a good role model for the sacred feminine, right? I mean, you know, we're just now beginning to awaken and understand, you know, the distortion that we've all been living in. You know, I think you know, looking back to the 60s and 70s and the rise of the feminine, you know, and the feminist movement, but that movement was a beginning, but yet it really wasn't, for the most part, really the sacred feminine. It was still a distorted energy, even though it was breaking out the mold, you know, it was the beginning. It had to start somewhere, you know.
Exactly.
But, you know, everything is ever evolving. And so, you know, we just continue to evolve and we continue to really work through these distorted feminine energies, these wounded energies, and become more consciously aware by seeing and opening our eyes, right, and seeing the distortions in society. I mean, we can look around and who are the role models for our 13 and 14-year-old girls today? You know, these models who are super thin, you know, almost anorexic looking, you know, gobs of makeup, you know, looking perfect and like, oh, you know, they just have the perfect life. But, you know, we all know that isn't the truth. You know, that's not real. You know, that's not sustainable and that's not real. That's not the real sacred feminine. And even today you know, women have come a long way, but a lot of women had to mold themselves to adapt to, you know, especially in the corporate world. They had to adapt to a man's world because it's predominantly a man's world. You know, I can remember in my early career back in the 80s, you know, I didn't really want to wear dresses all that much. You know, I wanted to wear pantsuits and I wanted to wear pants because, you know, and the jackets with the shoulder pads because
I had those.
It more Did you have those too?
Of course.
Yeah, you know, because it was emanating, you know, the masculine. And, you know, trying to climb that corporate ladder, trying to fit in a man's world. But we all know the sacrifices. We all know how much we paid for that, right? You know, we paid for that through, you know, the distorted feminine, you know, and it wasn't really being true to ourselves. And we were really abandoning our sacred feminine. We were really, you know, pushing her away in a sense, not realizing that. I'm not saying we were conscious of that, but, you know, even today, we really don't have very, very rare to find a true leader out there. I would say a woman leader with true sacred feminine qualities.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, we really do lack those visible role models, you know, for both women and men who are showing up in their true sacred feminine and masculine energies. So, but as we come to recognize in ourselves where we might be carrying, you know, deep wounding and distorted energies, we can begin to clear and cleanse and heal those energies. You know, but the key that I've found and discovered, particularly with my own, I'll call it battle with the mental,
Mm-hmm.
the mental mind, because at age 45, I really truly felt afflicted from all the negative thoughts and tapes and all that in the mental energy. And through many different methods of healing and clearing a lot of that, what I came to discover is that it's only through clearing it in the womb that you really can clear it permanently. Because our womb, you know, our physical body, the cow body, records everything. You know, it records like the Akashic record. It records all of your experiences, all these traumas, all these abuses, all this manipulation and control, all of it, all of these distortions of energy that we have experienced are, you know, housed within the layers of the physical body in the womb. And so as I've done this work on myself and gone in and cleared, you know, from the womb, I have found that, you know, I've become more grounded. I don't feel so scattered anymore. Most of my life, I felt very ungrounded. You know, I didn't feel safe to be in the body, you know, as intuitive as an empath, right? My own mother is extremely ungrounded and scattered, very psychic, but very much out of touch with reality. And so one of the things I was observing is, you know, as you reclaim your womb space, as you reclaim that connection to Divine Mother and begin to flow more of the sacred feminine, the true feminine light and love that you are, then and you ground that into the body and into the womb, because your womb is connected to the womb of Mother Earth, of New Mother Earth. Your womb is also connected to the universal Divine Sophia Mother. And as you continue to connect these three wombs together, you'll begin to feel more safe. You'll begin to feel like your energy is literally becoming more grounded into your body, and it is. You'll begin to feel this sort of new root system of where you'll be able to actually embody your womb, your yoni, your sexual organs again, which are your creative centers as well. And all of that has to be embodied to be able to bring you back into this state of wholeness again, to be able to channel that raw creative power of the mother, which is what she wants you to do. So the womb work, as I see it, and has been presented to me and through my own experience, is that, you know, the first, second, and third chakras are the feminine, is the feminine. It is the earth energy. And so this is really, you know, where our work lies again. It's so interesting. It's like we've come full circle. I know for myself, I started with healing my first, second, and third chakra many years ago, and then opening the heart, and then, you know, going up and really opening up the upper chakras, which are, you know, the heart and the upper chakras are the earth energy, the sky energy, the heaven energy. Mm-hmm. However, the challenge is to bring it into you know, to bring heaven to earth, right? To bring the masculine with the feminine, and to bring that flow to the first, not only the first, second, and third chakras, but into the womb, and to begin to live from that womb center very powerfully. I mean, even speaking through your womb. You know, we talk a lot about the throat chakra, which, yes, it's important to open the throat because you want to be able to channel that flow, but you want to channel that flow all the way down through the womb. And as you embody more of your true soul light in your sacred feminine, then you will begin to then hold more energy in your womb, open that portal, that direct portal to divine Sophia Mother once again. And as you do that, then you will become a very powerful manifester. Not only a powerful manifester for what you are here to birth and create, but you will become a very powerful healer. Mm-hmm. You can become a very, like Jesus, like Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene. They were very powerful healers that were, we talked about the superpowers and the siddhas and turning water into wine. I mean, that's the potential that everyone has.
Absolutely. We do have that potential, and and it's like, but it's a small thing compared to really being in touch with your divine feminine, really being in touch and embodying the divine mother. That is, to me, much more important than just turning water into wine.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like it's a minor thing. It's like it's
a minor thing, exactly. And it's a minor thing, but it's real. And we talk about the powers of telepathy.
Yeah.
We talk about the powers of bilocation. Mm-hmm. And these are real things, and there are real avatars and masters, and these are things that walk the earth. But those powers, as Jesus said 2,000 years ago, we can even do more powerful things than they did in this time. And it isn't just a hearsay thing. It's real. And I had my own experiences, in the south of France. I experienced bilocation. Mm-hmm. I'd never experienced that before. I experienced bilocation. I experienced going through the wormholes. Mm-hmm. Between Mount Blucherach and the church at Rennes-le-Chateau. I mean, I had a huge epiphany. I don't even have words for it, Alara, but a quickening, mm-hmm. a download of the mother energy at Lourdes. It took me months to integrate it.
Right.
But that was such a huge blessing and gift. But those are the experiences that are open to all of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're open to all of us. And when you have these direct experiences, which I love, that's one of the reasons I love doing retreats, because when you have those experiences, and you can have them now, you can have them just going out into the woods, you can just open up. But these are the experiences that are here to show us our power, mm-hmm. The raw power of the sacred feminine that is there all around us, that we can begin to tap into again, that we're being invited to, mm-hmm. To harness, to hold, to create from. And how exciting. I can't think of anything more exciting. I can't think of any, it's the best gift, right? It's the best gift in the world.
And it all starts with beginning to heal our womb and the distorted feminine, right? And that's part of what we're going to do in the process today.
Yes, that's what we're going to do in our process today, and to begin to liberate and mm-hmm. restore, restore your feminine state again, and liberate the inner goddess of joy. And that's one of the things that, I'll share too, because I didn't feel joy for most of my life. I was searching for peace for a long time. Peace was kind of like my first foundational, place. But mm-hmm. then I started to search for joy. And since I've been doing the womb work over the last couple of years, I have begun to feel joy and happiness again, because I'm actually able to now, embody more of my soul light, more of my true soul, authentic soul frequency, or divine blueprint, whatever your words are. But, mm-hmm. Now I'm beginning to feel the fullness, the wholeness, the completeness of embodying my soul light through the purification practices. And, this is what my heart has been aching for my entire life.
Right.
And, it was pretty interesting because if you look into the world today, this energy about the narcissism, right? And narcissistic, and the psychopath, all these really, really harsh sort of energies. And, they're all, this wasn't even a word 20 years ago, Lara. It just sort of came out of it sort of like came out of the vapors,
Yeah.
And now everything that is rising up that can't be suppressed anymore, right? The truth will not be suppressed. Divine Mother is not going to allow it. Divine Mother is in charge today, very powerfully in charge, way beyond any political agendas or, government agenda, financial agendas that we see going on. Divine Mother is here to bring us back to our original state of being as divine humans.
Awesome.
And
better late than never.
And it absolutely. And if I get down or I get depressed, because we all have our challenges, and as more of this, higher plasma light is coming in, just really celebrate that, even though it may take you through a challenge. I know for me, I've felt like this year, since the beginning of 2021, I felt like I was walking in quicksand, literally. And I don't know if other people have had this experience, but even words are becoming challenging. That sounds weird, but it's like when you're going more into this quantum space, because that is the space of telepathy. It's the space of, words can't even describe it, right? And I feel like sometimes I'm trying to have this very 3D conversation of words, and it's like I can't even engage in it anymore because it feels so foreign. It feels so dense, and linear. And so, but if you have those experiences, I find that, just again, just releasing any resistance, surrendering, breathing, being present with that you can we're quickly shifting through these as we're being upgraded, right, into a crystalline body.
Yeah. And that is what's happening right now. For all of us who are doing the work, whatever work you're doing, we are being upgraded, and we are able to hold more light. I can't speak now, but we're able to hold more light. And it is about us really tapping into our knowing and trusting, and taking it one day at a time. Some days, are a challenge, but you take it one day at a time and do the best you can. Because no one's ever been through this before. What we're all experiencing now, no one has ever experienced this before. So it's all new. And so, we need to start to be a little bit more gentle with ourselves.
Absolutely. Yes. And gentle is really important. Self-nurturing yourself, right? Bringing in the lunar feminine qualities of, being really kind and gentle to yourself, being really patient with yourself, it's not easy to hold these energies. And, you just, in my experience, just keep in training, right? You set up a powerful intention that you're going to uncondition, release all the conditioning. Mother Mary calls it the undoing. The undoing of all of these entanglements, these energetic entanglements, literally, that we have experienced. And, and really just setting a powerful intention to call back your sacred feminine. Call back and set an intention that you want to work with Mother Sophia Divine, and ask, to connect with her. Forgive yourself, ask for her forgiveness, for anything that you did in an unconscious state, because we've all done things. We all have our shadows.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, talking about the distorted feminine shadow, which is the inverted mother that is women we have carried lifetime to lifetime, and that we want to heal, you know, that distorted feminine, that wounded feminine, so we can return to wholeness and we can begin to work, you know, walk with grace and ease and beauty and kindness and compassion, and love, and even unconditional love, because our wombs are originally, you know, the frequency of unconditional love. And that's what's going to bring our world back into balance. That is the key. You know, doing soul retrieval, reclaiming those lost parts. And if you feel called to take a journey, you know, sometimes we do an inner journey. Sometimes we actually do go and visit parts of the world. And a lot of times I've found that's because you're retrieving lost soul fragments. Mm-hmm. And, you know, just doing the energetic integration into your bodies, you know, inviting in what I call the angelic feminine frequency healing light, calling on that light, working with that light. You can do that with Mother Mary. And just really, you know, setting the intention to ignite your feminine, your sacred feminine again. These are all very powerful ways to get you started to healing her, you know, however she's showing up in your life. And, you know, as I was saying, you know, the whole thing about, there's a whole dynamic, which might be another good conversation for another day, is how many of us as empaths have experienced narcissists in our lives. Mm-hmm. And that's a huge opportunity to heal, you know, to heal any of those fragments of the distorted feminine that may have shown up as the narcissist in our relationships and in the past, and to heal, you know, that distorted feminine who may have been showing up as the narcissist in another relationship, and showing us, well, we needed to call our power back, you know, from the narcissist, and we needed to step more powerfully into and reclaim our sacred feminine. And that's really, you know, in essence, what's happening not only on our individual soul level, but happening in the world, in the collective soul. Today, that we can see this very distorted feminine and masculine energy in politics, you know, in finances, in even healthcare, in our school systems. But it's all being, you know, it's all coming up to our collective consciousness, and we're all in this sort of united dark night of the soul, so that we can, you know, heal it, and we can come back to our natural state. So very, very powerful energies and dynamics that are here. You know, because we live in this dual planet, right? We live in the dual planet in the polarities. And it's the way I like to think of it, so that it doesn't create trauma within myself, is to think of it as, if you go higher on the spectrum of consciousness, you know, as you go higher in those spectrums of consciousness, you have to go lower into the lower dimensions of consciousness in order to bring these dynamics together and integrate them into the 0 point field of coming back into the equal balance of 50-50, which is what we're really, you know, part of that we want to restore for creation of the new earth. But I like to think of it in those terms, because when I do, it brings a compassion and a neutrality to it. It takes out any, you know, judgment around any of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Which, you know, is challenging. It's not easy to do that, but you know, these are some ways that we can be kind to ourselves, so we're not re-traumatizing ourselves, right? Again, and you know, but I found that the strength and the power that I needed to really be able to set healthy boundaries as an empath and to say no to toxic relationships, toxic people. This is really, becoming much more crystal clear today. And I think on the world scene, we can all see how important this is, that we say no to the destructive energy of the distorted feminine, really, and distorted masculine, and how crucial it is that we stand in our light and power, and particularly as mothers, as we are here as emissaries for Divine Sophia Mother. It's so important because as women, we were the original shamans. Everybody who came, and not only that, but on the science part, you were first a woman before you were a man. And in the biological sense of a human experience. And so that's why as women, we do, the raw feminine, the raw sacred feminine, she's the raw power. And she can create without the masculine. She has the potential to do it. However, she doesn't always know, she loses sometimes her focus, and she loses her way on what is to be created. And that's where the sacred masculine is so important, and to help guide her.
For structure.
So that they guide, exactly, for structure, for focus, and to bring forth a creation in that 50-50 balance. But the men are, for most part, not only are women lost today, but men are lost today. And, once you've experienced trauma and abuse on any level, whether it was sexual trauma and abuse or physical or emotional or verbal or any of it, in order to really stop those patterns, once you heal it in yourself, I've been finding where you have to completely disconnect from that energy because, and again, this goes back to science, this is really interesting, is that why have we kept incarnating with the same people over and over again if we were caught in the dynamic of a, let's say, empathic narcissistic relationship? It's because of what's called trauma bonding. And once there's a trauma that occurs between two souls, then the atom that you are, that you are, it's like a magnet. It's like the law of attraction, and it's like that trauma they call trauma bonding now bonds you to that other person in an unhealthy way, in a distorted way, because the atoms are supposed to be spinning with a clear space in between. And what happens when the trauma happens is those atoms get bonded together magnetically. And that's the trauma bonding.
Right.
And so that's why, Alara, it's been so hard for some of us and so difficult. And even after we've done a lot of healing, a lot of clearing, a lot of work, why is it I can't walk away from that toxic relationship, or why can't, I just cut myself off from it? And this is why. This is at the very, very root cause of it, is that because of this trauma bonding that not only is within you, but is within your genetics, within your ancestry, and within the women, your mother, your grandmother, who experienced the same traumas over and over and over again. And that is why it is so crucial that we heal this distorted feminine imbalance and reclaim the sacred mother energy so that we can stop this trauma bonding in this repeated going on and on and on again, so that when, you know, our daughters and our granddaughters are being born, you know, we can have divine conception, and these beautiful avatars that are coming in with these very high frequencies can be born, you know, into bodies of, and we, without the trauma bonding. So it goes really deep, but it's really interesting. And it's taken me a long time to really get to this point, and I'm so grateful to be at this point. And I know I talked about my mother being, you know, a narcissist, and, you know, but I don't even like the word. I don't like to describe it that way. I don't like to term anything, but it just, you know, she's so lost. And she held the inverted dark mother energies, and she held the distorted feminine energies. But the blessing of that is, you know, I mean, I'm very compassionate. I have so much compassion for her pain and her suffering, right? And her still pain and suffering. At the same time, there's a great love that maybe we can't understand around, you know, she came into this life, and through that came a huge blessing for my own healing. So that I could recognize the distorted feminine in me and heal that feminine, not only for myself, but for our lineage and for my daughter, and for all women, you know, for the collective, you know. And okay, it took so long, there's no judgment around it, but to get to finally understand that and see the blessing and to break free, because I've now had to disconnect myself from her on the physical, and because I can no longer be in that energy, right? Which doesn't mean I don't love her or I don't hold compassion for her. Of course I do. But this is the really deep level we need to come to, Alara, and everyone. And this is where the Divine Mother, the reconnection to the Divine Mother energy, Sophia, through my womb, through the womb practices, through the embodiment of purifying my womb and opening the connection between my womb heart, gave me the strength and the power and the love that I needed to break that trauma bond.
Awesome. There's just a question in the chat from Liga, and she says and this is something I think common for people, but she had a hysterectomy 50 years ago. And she says, I feel the depression and despair. How do I nurture and purify my wounds so to be able to clear things permanently? So part of what we're going to do is that process where she'll be able to start to heal her womb. It's not just like a 1 second thing that you just heal your womb in 1 second, but we're going to start the process today with the guided meditation, right?
Yes. So she can make that her intention to begin that healing, because even though you've had a hysterectomy or any kind of, you know, let's say surgery of, you know, removal of an organ, it's still there in the etheric spiritual body. It's still energetically there, and you can heal that. You can heal the trauma of the surgery. You can heal, you know, this distorted energies around that. So I would just suggest that she make that her intention today, and we can now move into that, if you're ready, into that meditation.
Sure. Destiny has had her hand raised. She had a question about wounding, but I'm just gonna. So Destiny, if you want to unmute yourself, but this is not a personal question. So a general question about wounding is great. We're not going into readings per se. So if you want to unmute yourself, go ahead. If you had a general question about wounding, go ahead.
Hey, Laura.
Hey.
Hi.
I was just questioning about like I'm coming into contact with like a lot of different personas, and I'm wondering if that has to do with like the different. They all seem wounded.
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. You're right on target with that. Many, you know, you can say personas or, you know, aspects of your soul that are coming back and presenting themselves that are wounded and distorted. And that is absolutely part of the process. That, you know, that is a stage of your healing, because I find that we work in stages of healing in our journey, but, you know, really your own womb, your own divine mother, your own goddess self is in the background. And, you know, we're all kind of taking the same journey. We're just kind of on the same, you know, different places of the journey. But yeah, working with the personas, the distorted, absolutely is a great place to start. But you can, you know, what you can do is make the intention, or my suggestion is make the intention to do it not just on the mental level,
Okay.
but to go ahead and say, I want this on all 4 levels. I want this on the mental, I want it on the emotional, I want the energetic healing and the spiritual, and I want the healing in my womb. So just go ahead feel the power of that. Just go ahead and say, I want it all. I'm ready for this. I can handle it. You know, I'm good. And just go ahead and set that powerful intention to do it and integrate it in all those levels.
Thank you for that. Yes, I will do that.
Good.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Awesome question. Great. Thank you so much. That's a great question.
Thank you, Destiny. All right, so I know we're going to do the guided meditation now. Let me see. Yeah, here we go. All right, so should we all have some sort of intention as we're moving into this guided meditation, Laura?
Yes. Yes. So just go ahead and sort of just get very grounded, take your shoes off. If you have your shoes on, feet flat on the floor, get very, very grounded. And just go ahead now and invite in, you know, your higher self, your angelic self, to help you to set an intention. And just to bring up to the surface something, it could be a past trauma that wants to be remembered and felt during this meditation. It might be a deep feeling or emotion that wants to come up. It could be something like shame or guilt, or something that wants to be felt. It could be a soul part or a persona or aspect that you've been working with that wants to return. So just go ahead now and begin to tune in and get in touch with whatever that is. Bring your hands and lay them gently on your womb center, just right below the belly button, so you can begin to flow the energy. And I'll just go ahead and mention an intention, a general intention that we can all align with, and then you can bring it into more detail if you like, but this will help to align everybody in the meditation. So we can just say, my sacred intention is to call back and integrate all parts of me that I have lost through my own traumas and wounding that had led me to feel inner emptiness. And then you can just go ahead and bring in any other specifics that are becoming more clear and coming up to your consciousness. If there's a theme that is forming, just go ahead and let it come up. Become aware of your breath is a beautiful liquid healing light. This beautiful liquid healing light, this angelic light that is making its way down from the very highest heavens, from Divine Mother herself. Allow this light to begin to flow deeply down into your womb center. As you feel this light coming into your womb, allow your womb to shine and expand. And just ground your awareness into your womb by simply bringing your attention to your hands lying gently on top of your womb center. Bringing your breath deeply all the way down through your body. And just even breathing this liquid healing light deep into your womb center. As you become sensitive to your body, Just begin to feel into your body. And now ask your body, where do I feel empty? Where do I feel like maybe there's a void or pieces missing within me? And just get a sense for that. Now bringing your attention to your womb, ask your womb, where am I empty? Where do I have pieces of myself, of my soul that are missing? And just begin to allow yourself to feel the energy in your body, to feel your emotions rising to the surface. Just to allow any old experiences or traumas that want to come up, that want to be re-experienced now for healing. It could be a memory, it could be an event, it could be something that happened between you and another person, or in a situation that you experienced any time in this lifetime or a previous lifetime that made you feel shattered or emptied. Maybe you felt abandoned or betrayed or rejected. Something that left your heart and womb feeling void and emptied, fragmented and shattered. Just allow that moment or moments as you're being guided by your womb goddess to come in, to simply present itself or themselves. Just begin to acknowledge that part of you that's been shattered and displaced by life. Simply recognize and accept this part of you. And also that you have the power right now, as you have this beautiful connection to Divine Sophia Mother, to call these parts back to you, this part. You have the power, the authority, the ability to call all the parts of your feminine energy back. Those parts that maybe are not in your body, that they are not where they truly belong. Parts of your beautiful, full, and complete feminine, shining, crystalline energy. It's time to call those parts back. Parts that were lost, that felt rejected, displaced, distorted. Just begin to invite them to come back and sit within your body again so that you can begin to feel whole, complete. You can begin to feel your full power of your divine I Am blueprint. Make your intention open to receive all of this energy back now so that all the energy that's ready to return is welcome back in now. And now just take your hands from your womb for a moment. Cup your hands together in a cup position, palms facing upward toward the sky. And now just ask to receive your soul light, those lost parts. Invite them to now fill your palms, to receive that energy back, your sacred feminine energy and light back into the palms of your hands. All the parts of you that are ready to return to complete you. As you feel this energy and power of your soul flowing back to your hands, you might see some colors or an object. You might just feel the energy. It's all just perfect for you. And now place your hands on your womb, inviting in this beautiful divine intelligence of your soul light, your soul energy to now begin to move deeply into your womb center. Ask your womb goddess to begin to gently and lovingly guide these soul parts back to where they belong. Keep calling and gathering your energy into your body. Keep feeling your soul light moving from the palms of your hands into your womb and into your body and being, filling any void or emptiness that you've been carrying. Now, very specifically, call in any part of your womb energy that is ready to return, any soul part that belongs specifically to your womb center. Begin to call this part of you back in. Just gathering and welcoming all of this energy back into your womb center so that your womb can shine again, your beautiful soul light, so she can feel her power, her joy, her happiness once again. Welcome her energy back into your womb center. Welcome her home. It is time for her to come back into the sanctuary of your womb garden, where they are welcome and safe. Gathering this energy from far and wide, wherever you left it, at any place on this earth or outside of this earth, wherever you left this part of you, call it home now. You may have left this part of you in the stars, or deep under the earth, or in the sea, or in some planet or galaxy. And now gently breathing in, just keep receiving and opening to your own soul light. Welcoming these parts back into your womb center, seeing and feeling them so that all of your dots are connected, so that the spiral of light deep within your womb is becoming more pure and clear, more crystalline, more whole and complete. And taking a nice big deep breath in, just feeling very deeply restored and healed as this feminine light unifies you together. This light continues to integrate and weave together these parts of yourself, weaving deeply into the core of your womb. Moving out from your womb and deeply weaving into your body and your soul. So that you are now restoring the beautiful crystal vase and chalice of your energy field. Taking in as much of this light as you want. Seeing it wash all over your body and all the way through you. And now taking a moment to just celebrate the return of your feminine soul light. She's been waiting a long time to come home. Celebrate her, celebrate yourself. Take a moment to express gratitude and welcome her back in jubilee and bliss and joy. And now take a moment to just acknowledge and feel her beauty, her strength gathering in your womb. Feeling this deep connection being fully restored between you and Divine Sophia Mother. Feeling a completeness, a wholeness. Feeling a sense of deep joy. Feeling so full that your chalice is overflowing with this divine feminine soul light. And drinking that in. And feeling yourself grounded in your body, feeling safe, feeling loved, feeling held gently by Divine Sophia Mother's womb and our beautiful Earth Mother. As you do, begin to feel the crown chakra opening. Begin to feel this beautiful feminine flow. Flowing in, down through your chakras. Pulling up your heart. Filling your heart and then filling your womb. The flow moving down to the Earth Star Chakra, deep into the womb of New Earth Mother. And flowing back up like a beautiful, huge infinity, cycling through, connecting you to both Divine Mother's womb and Earth Mother's womb. And just feel this beautiful energy being held in this loving and beautiful space, this garden of love and joy and beauty. Feel the innocence of you. Feel that anchoring in deep within you. That beautiful cosmic child, the divine child, in the garden of your womb. She is ready to create. She is ready to play. You've liberated her today. She is more complete, more whole. And breathing gently in to anchor all of this in. Just acknowledging that you have the power to complete yourself. You have the power to restore your chalice of soul light. There's no limit to this energy that you can generate from your heart and your womb. There is no limit to the energy of the potentials that you can create. You have full power. And just take a moment now to let all of this wash through you, integrating as much feminine light within you. Let it flow throughout your body and being, from head to toe, into your aura, healing and integrating all of your energy bodies together to one pillar of light. Feeling the expansion of light within you, growing and growing and growing. Seeing the rose of your heart and the rose of your womb blooming with your beautiful sacred feminine light. Now breathing all of this in, breathing it into the physical body, bringing all of this energy down to your feet, and taking a moment to just ground and center, expressing gratitude to Divine Sophia Mother for liberating us, liberating our souls, our hearts, our minds. And so it is. Amen. So taking a few deep breaths and coming back when ready.
Wow, I'm slowly coming back.
Yeah, take your time.
Yeah, I was
no hurry.
I was yawning like crazy. It was just so, I'm still yawning like crazy. Oh my goodness, so much. So, and it was so deep, and a lot of stuff was coming up, but at the same time, it was like a lot of energy was flowing and shifting and changing. It was, yeah, beautiful. Thank you. Goodness,
Yeah, you're welcome.
I feel like I could take a nap, you know?
That's a great thing to do, actually. Go take a nap and a walk. And yeah, it's great to let this integrate in, really sink in. And I encourage everybody to do that, and to really, you know, the more that you can connect with this beautiful quantum space of the womb, the garden of your womb, I like to call her, you know, the more you sink into it, the more you're going to recognize it. This is the home. This is what I've been looking for. This is what I've been seeking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow.
And, you know, yeah.
How's everybody else feeling?
Yeah, I'd love to know. I'd love
Right?
to hear any comments or experiences. Love sharing.
Yeah, just write in the chat how you're feeling, how you're doing, and what came up for you. I know for myself, there were a few different memories that came up to be healed and cleared, you know, so that was interesting. Some I was not expecting at all, so that was interesting. What is still coming up, yeah, different aspects of it.
Yeah, and it'll probably continue to come up for a while. So sitting and meditating or taking a nap, even, you know, let your womb continue to speak to you.
Yeah.
Write, journal, you know, whatever you feel is best for you. You know, allow this connection to continue to seep and deepen within you.
Yeah. So, you know, yawning, and memories to be cleared regarding my ex-husband. See, I didn't have my ex-husband. I had my first ex-husband. So yeah. Okay. I felt calm, in peace, and very beautiful. Oh, good. I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, it's interesting what so many parts came home. Awesome. Good. So many parts came home. That's beautiful. Just had surgery. It's very soothing. Oh, good. Awesome. Yeah, it was soothing. Wonderful. Actually. Yeah. It was very nurturing at the same time as well. You know, as we were healing and clearing, is also very nurturing. You know, that like you mentioned, the feeling of coming home, right, was so prevalent and so strong. Yeah. Yes. Good. Thank you.
Yes.
Whew.
Absolutely. So, you're welcome. Yeah, because something you said really insightful that you said, Alara, a while ago, I wanted to, is that, you know, this is a lifetime process that we will all be continuing to do. And I know we're all like, you know, sometimes we get a little wary of the healing, but, you know, at the same time, you know, we have our cycles, and, you know, we let ourselves pause and rest. However, I would encourage everybody to come back and do this practice time and time again. You can use it over and over again to take you deeper and deeper.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. It's like, yes, take time to rest and pause and enjoy life. You know, take time to live. And then, you know, when stuff is coming up, say, oh, you know what, maybe I should go do that womb healing. That might be nice. You know, so it's not always about looking for things to heal, you know, but as things come up, then it's like, oh yeah, let me do that, you know, because we're here also to live. We're here also to enjoy our lives. We're not just here to heal, you know. That's, you know, go ahead. I just have to say that all the time. It's like, I want people to recognize that we're also here to live and experience life, you know, not just to do the healing. Healing,
absolutely.
We have to do the work, absolutely, you know, but we also, you know, we're here to live. Oh, Faye says reclaimed intuition, nurturance, true essence. Awesome. Wow, that's powerful. Good. And so when you do it again, you're going to reclaim even more, right? So
yes, you know, you can reclaim even more. Exactly.
Yeah. What else is possible? Liga says, thank you. I had image of womb dancing. I'm so touched. Oh, good. Awesome.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. The womb dancing. Cool. Wow. That's a good one. Never heard of that before.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I never heard that. That's great.
Yeah. Good. So if you would like to work more deeply with all of this and with Laura, you can always, work with her with the special offer. There's package A and B. And so they are available at alara.at/show/Laura3. Now, I know, Laura, we're like already running out of time, but you want to share a little bit about the package?
Sure. So package A, this is a great place to get started on your womb journey. And I've got some bonuses of the Golden Heart Womb Activation Healing audio with light language. There's a 3-day fasting detox prayer angel kit. When you're doing the womb work, it's really great to do some fasting. And it doesn't mean you go without food, but there's a lot of good information and ways to do it in there. There's a shamanic drumming womb meditation, which is really cool because a lot of us, the womb is a very primal, energy space, and the drumming is another way to listen to the drumming, and it will help you to bring up, repressed memories. There's a pre-recorded prayer call did on December 20th, the solstice, Victory the Light with Mother Mary, Jesus, and Mary Magdalene in there. But it's 5 pre-recorded online circle calls that I did live and guided journeys where you will begin to learn how to align with your, soul vibration. We talk about the 3 divine feminine centers. We go into that, the pineal, the heart, and the womb. Learn how to connect with your holy womb chakra and clearly hear her voice. You begin releasing, and healing deeply held layers of suppressed pain and trauma. You begin to open this inner golden gateway of creative expression and manifestation to bring forth your heaven on earth. We do an inner child meditation because I find that sometimes we need to strengthen that partnership with the inner child. So there's a healing meditation and journey. Absolutely. And it's a great sort of, level to get basic level to get started, introductory level to get started. If you want to do that, and then what I will do is for everyone who signs up for that package, I will also schedule a live group call.
Oh, okay.
And I always like to do that whenever I do these packages. So give people some time to start, diving into it, and then I'll connect with everyone, and we'll do a live group call where I can answer your questions and things like that. And we can talk about, anything that you have that came up for you. Because this is deep work, and I want people to feel supported along the way. Because some, you can get pretty triggered.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
We all know about this, and that's okay. But at the same time, I like to offer that support.
Awesome. That's great.
And then at package B, we can do a 60-minute deeper dive, and I do have a specific focus, we can do around the divine feminine womb activation. So we can, look at any issues if you've had surgery, or if you've had, a cancer, or any kind of, womb distortions or anything. We can look at that, go deeper into that.
Awesome. Yeah,
Or
absolutely. And the sessions with Laura are amazing. They're, it says 60 minutes, but I mean, it's like there's so much that happens and so much is possible in a 60-minute session with Laura. I highly recommend. I've had a session with Laura and it was amazing. Amazing. So I highly recommend the sessions with Laura if you can do that. That's awesome. Yeah. Good. They're so powerful.
Yep, powerful and becoming more powerful. Everyone, all of us, all of us as women and healers, intuitives, creatives, whatever, we're all becoming more powerful. And these sessions I love because, with these high energies, we can shift things more quickly now. And I love that.
Absolutely. Me too.
I love it because I don't want to walk in the quicksand. I want to keep going.
Yeah. And that's the thing. We don't have to walk in the quicksand anymore. We don't have to take forever to heal. We can, it is faster and it is easier. There's not as much of the drama and trauma with regards to healing, if you're willing to get out of your own way and get out of the story, you know. So it is possible to heal and clear with ease and faster. So just remember that. So again,
Yes.
those two packages are available at alara.at/show/Laura3. So package A and package B. So yeah, I love it. Awesome. Good. So Faye says, now have a new image for safety, internal, warm, protected, safe space of the womb. Nice. Awesome.
Yes. Love it.
Good, good, good. All right. So Laura, do you have any last words of wisdom before you go? Because I know we're like already late. I know you're moving and
That's
there's so
okay.
much stuff to do when you're moving, for sure.
Yeah, that's all right. I just energetically wanted to be really good for the call. Yeah, you know, just I would just keep encouraging everyone to keep whatever way you are guided, you know, by your own internal guidance and your own connection with the goddess. I like to say, Divine Mother, the true Sophia Divine Mother energy. Keep calling to her and just keep setting intention to connect with her. And you know, some of the things we talked about before, connecting with your womb, start that practice. Even if you can't afford the package, you know, set your intention to connect with her voice, to hear her voice, and connect with your wombs, you know, bring in your hand to your wombs and journal, you know, journal and ask to be guided. And, you know, and she will lead you forward and into more abundance and prosperity. And ask for the money, you know, ask for the money to come, to be provided so that you can participate in this too. You got to ask for it. And your womb is a receiver. Remember, your womb, you've been conditioned for your womb to be outwardly guided. And now Divine Mother is saying, ask for your womb to be inwardly guided from your inner goddess, Divine Mother. So that just came through. I hadn't received that before.
Okay, awesome.
So
good.
Yeah, it's like you feel the difference, like really feel the difference.
Yeah.
And don't give your power away anymore to, you know, all these outer sort of distractions, you know, including, you know what I mean, like media and all that stuff going on. Don't give your power away. You keep coming back to your beautiful sacred feminine power, and your connection with Divine Mother is in your womb and in your heart. So those are the words that that are coming through for today.
Beautiful. Yeah, awesome, powerful. And that's the thing, it's like we don't have to look outside for all the answers. Most, and if not all, the answers are within us. So try going within and asking for the answers from within your divine goddess, you know, within you, as you, and ask for that guidance, and ask for the money to show up, ask for whatever it is that you desire to show up, and in a way that, you know, feels good, feels respectful, feels, you know, like with knowing and trusting. Okay. The Divine Mother is always listening and is always aware, but you still have to ask. Okay. This is about that communication and that relationship. Awesome. Good. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you. It was a great show. So good to be with you today, Laura. So much fun, so much energy, so much powerful healing here in your beautiful community. Sending love to everyone.
Beautiful. Yeah. Thank you. Beautiful. And thank you, everybody, for all your comments. I'm so glad you enjoyed it, and it was powerful for you as well. Yeah, it was a great conversation, great show, great wisdom, great energy. So great. You know, it's wonderful. Go back and watch or listen to this again. That's, you know, and do the process again, you know, for yourself. You'll enjoy it. Okay. And it's very nurturing, and it's going to help you to really tap into and anchor more of the divine feminine within you. All right. So yeah, it's possible. Okay, good. Awesome. Thank you so much, Laura. Again, it's always so wonderful to talk with you. Happy moving.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll take that, all the energy for the move.
Yeah, exactly. All right, everyone. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Until next time, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Sending you all much love and blessings always. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.